Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be going into part 3 of What If Gohan Had Cell's Potential. If you haven't seen part 2, there's a title card where you can go check out and see the last part and see what happened. But we'll be going into the Android saga and see how the Z-Fighters would do against the androids without Goku being the Super Saiyan and Gohan still being out in space. Without further ado, let's dive right into part 3 of What If Gohan Had Cell's Potential. Future Gohan has arrived to our timeline, but this is a different version of the future Gohan that we are not familiar with. This story is completely different compared to what had happened in canon. This future Gohan also had the insane potential growing up and went through the same events we had covered up in the past. While he was away in space, Gohan did not return to Earth for years. Back on Earth, things went on, but not as peacefully as it was. During the years Gohan was away, the Z-Fighters would continue on with their lives. Well, Goku and Chi-Chi haven't been on good terms since the whole situation with their son. Goku wouldn't even be training much and would not even achieve Super Saiyan. Meanwhile, Vegeta, Raditz, and Piccolo would do light sparring, and the Saiyans would also achieve the Super Saiyan form. Goku would still fall to the heart virus and would sadly pass away, which just take everyone into shock. This would make Chi-Chi completely broken as now she is alone. Raditz too would feel hurt and would end up going to space to go look for his nephew. Not long after, though, horror struck throughout the planet as the androids would arrive, but these androids are too strong as they have the info on Gohan, and since he grew strong continuously in the past, the androids would do so too. This fight against the androids was even more horrifying than in canon, as the Z-Fighters stood no chance whatsoever, and none of them made it out alive. All that was left was Bulma, a baby Trunks, growing up without a mentor. Trunks grew to be careless. Without a guide or anyone else to defend the planet, he believed it was up to him. He would try to fight the androids to the dismay of his mother, and would barely make it out alive each time. He would end up being all battle scarred and having many injuries, until one day Raditz had returned, but without Gohan. Soon blamed himself that everything went wrong because he wasn't here. Bulma did not blame him, but explained to him that him and Trunks are the only hope they have left of the planet. They cannot find Gohan anywhere. Raditz would then begin to train Trunks, and even teach him the Super Saiyan form. As they grow stronger and even got a student and teacher bond. Raditz did think that it could have been possible that Trunks could have the insane potential that Gohan had since they're both hybrid Saiyans, but he never felt it from Trunks. One day, the androids would attack a nearby city and they would both head to fight him. They each take on one android, and at first it seemed like they have the upper hand, but in the battle quickly, they realized that it wasn't the case, as the androids continue to get stronger and stronger. Seeing this, Raditz knows it's best to escape, but 17 does not allow that as he begins chasing him and quickly catches him. Trunks, seeing this, tries to help Raditz but is quickly being attacked by 18. With these much stronger androids, they have no hope of escaping, and sadly, they are both taken out. Bulma would end up finding their bodies after being gone for hours, and this would destroy her. Now with no one to protect the planet, she thinks everything is lost, but then gets the idea of making a time machine that would hopefully change everything, and she would work on it for years until one day came from space. It has been 20 years since anyone has seen him. Gohan has come back, but he quickly senses that things are not okay as he cannot sense anyone's power, and the planet looks in bad shape. He instant transmissions to the only key source he feels, which would be Bulma. Bulma is shocked to see Gohan as she can barely recognize him, but quickly gets mad and blames him for leaving and not coming back when they needed him, and terribly screams out everything that happened in the last 20 years. Hearing everything, Gohan is torn down, losing his father, uncle, all his friends. He tries his best to keep calm and not let loose, as that's what he was been working on for the last few years. But he blamed himself and thought to himself that the last thought everyone had of him was that he hated them, and he couldn't stand with that. He quickly picked himself up and told Bulma he would take care of the androids. It didn't take too long to find them, causing more destruction, and he quickly headed towards them. The androids are taking him back to see another fighter, as they were sure they killed them all. Seeing the reason everything went down, Gohan began to get angry, losing control once again, but this time he felt it was reasonable. He begins powering up, as his force is being felt all over the planet, his scream being heard by everyone. A bright yellow light covers the entire planet, as when it dissipates, Gohan is shown with Super Saiyan 3 and quickly makes quick work of the androids. And this shocks the androids of how strong he is. No matter what they throw at him, it doesn't faze him. And even with their strength growing, it cannot compare to Gohan's overgrowing strength and the already huge gap between him and the androids. With one strong blast, the androids are taken care of. He calms down and powers down to his base form. He doesn't feel happy about the win since he could have prevented this if he came back home. He returned back to Bulma, telling her that the androids are taken care of, and she is shocked at how easy he made that seem, but she saw how badly this affected him. As he apologized to her, as he took the entire blame on himself. Bulma then explained that they could fix everything, as she is making the cure for Goku's heart disease and creating a time machine, which then Gohan gave hope into where we are now in the present timeline. Future Gohan would fly over to the Sun family home. And quickly meet up with his father and mother. Meeting them again makes him feel bad about what he made them go through and quickly blurs out everything that happened in the future and deeply apologized to what he did to them and how he left them. This both made Goku and Chi-Chi embrace their son even if it's their not actual son, but from the future. Other Z fighters would arrive after sensing this immense power and learning everything about the future, the androids, and the whereabouts of this timeline's Gohan. Future Gohan then tells everyone the plan. He, Goku, Vegeta, and Raditz will all train, as he would try to teach them at least Super Saiyan 2. Once they dealt with the androids, he would go to Gohan and train him in everything he had learned, and once he is ready, he will bring him back to Earth. Everyone agreed with the plan and began training seriously. Future Gohan begins the training with the match between the three Saiyans. They stood no chance against him, as just in his base form, as this took them all aback, but once they asked him to go to his fullest, he transformed into Super Saiyan 3, and they are completely frozen, with the immense power that has far surpassed them all. They would all try to attack Future Gohan at once. Without any effort from him, he easily takes them all out one by one. Goku is dumbfounded with this whole completely different entire level that he is nowhere near, but it does give him the motivation to train harder. They train intensely for a few months, and they grow immensely strong in a short time span. The three Saiyans achieving Super Saiyan 2, learning techniques like instant transmission, force spirit fission, objectification, cloning, healing, and learning something called the fusion dance, but haven't tried it yet. Future Gohan would then begin going into space to find his other self. The Z fighters would stay training as they have 2 more years until the androids would arrive, so they continue to grow stronger, and even the other Z fighters would gain some serious growth, with the Saiyans being far more ahead than normal. Goku would take his medicine, especially learning about the future, and Raditz being there to take care of his younger brother. The time will fly by as the Z fighters gather up and wait until the androids attack, and once they do, they all head out to the androids. When Yamcha meets them, he actually manages to hold his own until the others arrive. Note, the other Z fighters are no doubt much stronger than their canon counterpart, but two, the androids are, since Jiro was able to gather stronger information. Even the fact that Gohan's rapid growth made himself and his other creations too become stronger. Goku would fight 19 first, and their fight is one-sided to begin with. Goku in his Super Saiyan 2 state far surpasses 19, but the longer the fight went on, 19 was growing in strength. Now with 19, he does have a growing potential, but he was the first android tested with this information, so it's not perfected. Goku begins to start noticing that the android was getting stronger, so with a powerful Kamehameha wave, he destroys 19 and wins the fight without succumbing to the heart virus. This does take Dr. Gero off guard and tries to retreat, but with every member there, and all being either stronger than him or equal to his power, so Dr. Gero would too get destroyed with little effort. Bulma would arrive to see the androids and being destroyed, and everyone was glad to have stopped the androids thanks to the warning of Future Gohan. Back to Future Gohan, it didn't take him long to find his younger self, since he did what he is doing now. He found young Gohan on the planet Yardrat training with the Yardratians, learning to control his power and emotions. But at first, it wasn't going so well with young Gohan, struggling to stay calm, until Future Gohan arrived on the planet and met up with his younger self, and explained everything. Knowing all of this, Gohan grew worried and asked if everyone was okay. Future Gohan explained that he did train them all up before he headed towards him. He then proceeds to tell his younger self that they must go elsewhere so they can begin their training and teach young Gohan everything he learned from his 20 years in space in a much shorter time. Future Gohan would leave with his younger self, and they would go find a planet with no life force. They would go on searching for a while until they find one. Their training would begin with Future Gohan being harsh towards his younger self. His first goal was to mainly focus on his emotions and to lose the rage in him. Young Gohan was still hurt about the whole situation with him and his father, so Future Gohan focused on that. They explained to him what his father was trying to do at the start, since they were so young, having this much power, and explained that their father was very proud of the power they had, or will have. Once Gohan begins to understand that, then they will begin their true training of achieving a higher level of power, but not just for his younger self, but for himself as well. Tell me how y'all think about this part and how we did with the Android Saga. Do y'all like how the future timeline turned out with this entire different story? How do you think younger Gohan would be with all the knowledge and strength his future self taught him in a shorter time span? If you're interested and enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to be alerted whenever I post another part. Thank y'all so much for watching, and we'll see y'all in the next part. See ya!